Hey, muy buenas tardes, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. And as always, do please allow me to start off by thanking everybody for you guys' words, prayers, and just for everything you guys expressed my way. Decora, muchísimas gracias to everyone. And now, to touch on the topic I wanted to comment real fast on, which is the capture of Cesar Hernandez. First and foremost, I always say, there could be 100 people looking at one thing and they can only touch on what they see, right? Or what they can hear or know of or get of, right? Which this video is not about that, right? It's not about who I talk to, who I know, none of that. I want to talk about it. Personal experience, see if everybody could get it between the lines, right? Because I don't want to touch directly on the angle, right? But first and foremost, allow me to start off with, from Cesar Hernandez's actions, do you really think he would be a pollito amarrado, just a sitting duck right there waiting on them to run up on him without defending himself? He bucked up, took off on the Judas, knowing he could have gotten shot. He had the whole squad right, military wise, police wise, and he suited up, booted up, and hoot bang. Again, I said it before, if I was in his position, I would have done the same thing and just fallen in line. Now I understand he wasn't expecting to take out this Huda, because her being a female has nothing to do with it. Her position is what's important here. She was important not just to the states, but to those that reached out into her pocket to have knowledge of how the state's doing things or certain factions, right? If you guys get it. Remember I said he pissed off a lot of people. He had a lot of people that were supporting him, but they weren't expecting this. Unfortunately, it happened. And the worst thing in Mexico, for those that don't know, is to have the U.S. with the Mexican authorities or following the Mexican authorities and shutting down production, money, the way TJ was. Again, he pissed off a lot of people. I said it before, he was not in state. So allow me to speak on a personal experience when I was there and how I was sometimes in a position that I had to resolve problems. Tell me, what would I gain by picking him up, taking him to a field, chopping him up, or just taking him out? Nada. Now, what if I picked him up, hog tie him, shoot him up with dope, take him to a spot, and like I said, it's the Winnie way, but it's the Mexican way, right? Then boop boop, hey, ahí te lo puse de. He's right there. The pollito, he's not even gonna say cubo or cubeless kekis, right? And resolve the problem. What would I resolve? Just dealing with the anger in an impulsive way. When I can turn him in and have the problem go away. Allow work to keep producing. For them avenues to open up again. And allow feria to be made. At the end of the day, Mexico is not just Mexicans, but worst off us that come from the States, right? That in every sense they say we bring the problems from the States when government from the US comes in. What would they gain killing them? Nothing. Believe me, it's way easier. Ahí te va. Open up TJ again. The one thing I'm gonna say is, I feel for homeboy. I think he should have kept that same energy when people told him, hey, let's talk. He should have been like Charles. He should have had the common sense. and just wrote it out. Because right now, I guarantee you, he's wishing he would have fallen in line, or regretting he's not in the States still. Me personally, let me tell you the process. You go 48 hours to separos, nothing pastatales. You're not on record yet. You know, a lot of people talk about that chicharra too. Them things, that ain't nothing. You know, there's a little thing where they put a couple towels on your face. They put a hose with a lot of pressure in your mouth, so every time you're trying to breathe, you breathe in water. And at the same time, with them rifles, they're hitting your ribs, so you suck it in, right? Or they stick you in a room with a little bit more water than your ankles. They get 3 tractor batteries together, tie some cables to it, and throw it up in there, and see how you squeal and toss and turn. You know, man, believe me, it's hell on earth. Or when they hog tie you, tie your whole face up, literally bandage it up. They put you on your knees. They get a 4x4 or XX, a metal, something. The next thing you know, you start seeing stars. And it's to avoid them cuts. You'll be bruised up, but not cut up. You see, I'm not going to mention names, no say where I heard it. But saying Mexico is peaceful. I don't know what angle of Mexico you live in, but anyways, you know, Mexico, you don't mess with government. Remember, I always say government runs hand in hand. Again, for those that can read between the lines, allow me to clear it, you know, for those that can't. Mexico's full of betrayals, period. You know, I could be your friend. Next you know, someone says, I need this taken care of. I want to go, hee hee hee, ha ha ha. Tan tan tan, hog tie you, shoot you up, take you in, tell the boss, and the boss will take care of the rest. Resolve the problem to go away. I hope you guys can understand the angle I'm hitting. Again, I'm not on here to say this is right, this is wrong. Everybody can only speak on what they have reached, right? Of knowledge, of hearing. But that Mexico's calm, peaceful. We're not being the same Mexico, you know. But anyways, or it just might be in a whole different angle of living in Mexico. But again, I'm just speaking for myself and my experience. To those that have been asking me to put it out there, you know, I want to give a shout out to Rascal when you send me a message. And damn, homie, you know, I respect you because you hit everything on the nail. You have that mind to foresee the functions of different angles. Again, Mexico's a different animal. You know, what's good one day could be hell for you the next. With this said, please stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones. My love, prayers. Saludos, everyone.